I'm the incorrect announcer, and welcome to the Tentpole Accessories Podcast, where your hosts, Andre and Serge, give expert advice on tents and where to shove your poles. Carry on camping, boys.
My Serge?
No, you're Andre.
Oh.
Yeah, you're Andre. Hello, kids, and welcome to podcast number 205, Rompers. This month we're talking about Rompers. My name is Sean Holly, and over right down south we have...
Not that far down, not as far as I used to be, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm the glorious county of Oxfordshire. I'm Alex. How you doing, guys? Welcome back.
How are you? What have you been up to this last month? Do you want me to start? I got loads, mate. Loads.
Have you? Go on,
yeah.
then. You roll into it then, Sean. You've got loads. You've got more than me.
I have been to Play Expo, Norbreck, 5th and 6th of October. Met loads of friends and made new friends and played mostly pinball. Oh, dearie me. I love it. Loving the new Stern game, Jaws. After watching somebody play Sinistar, I really wanted to get into it, Sinistar. Because he made it look easy, but just not happening. Just not happening. It's a poor man's Bosconian, I reckon, Sinistar.
It's a hard game, dude.
Yeah.
Such a hard game. We had it in the arcade archive for about a month or so, and I struggled with it.
Yeah.
I love the sounds and everything, and the gameplay looks good. I don't mind the whole inertia, the way it's bounced around, but God, is that a hard game?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. But tell me, Blackpool, I've never been to Blackpool. For me, it's just a little bit too far. And I've heard some stories about the hotel not being so great.
Yeah. I've done a video on it, so you can look at the video. But
oh, cool! Is it out now?
Yeah, it is. But
bro.
I didn't realise, right? I was recording under the strobing red and blue lights, and that's really picked up on the video. So Neil had a look at it, and he says, "Why is everybody Smurfs?" Because it is. I can't repair it, but obviously it's still quite funny because it's still quite good, good to watch. But yeah, it's what it normally is. It's a meetup. It's the best place to go if you want to network. That's what I think. If you want to network with podcasters and friends, and everyone goes. So like it's your cabs, your pinballs. There's not that many pinballs. There's consoles, computers, vendors, LAN games. There's little side rooms. There's a little Warhammer thing going on, or Warhammer type role playing games.
Cool.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on. It's a really good event.
Yeah.
So
what about the cabinet? What about the cabinet display? I mean,
the cabs.
Was there any new games you hadn't played, or?
It was mostly the same as last year. There was a few new ones. I'll have to look at my walk around again.
I can't remember.
No, because they have swapped them out from last year.
Yeah.
A few, and there was a lot more that were working. Last year there were perhaps 9 or 10 that were down or something.
Yeah.
At certain points through the day, but this time they got it bang on, so that was good.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be interesting to see in your video what they have on offer. Yeah. Because when you go to these events, you want to play games, arcade games that you can't emulate at home. All the unique controls, the driving games, all that kind of stuff. The weird joysticks and spinners and all that.
Yeah, the gun games and stuff.
Yeah.
But
did they have a Spy Hunter there, Sean?
Don't know.
Because I have really got into that game.
I don't remember it.
Such a cool cabinet.
It might be.
Yeah.
You'd hear it though, wouldn't you? You'd hear the David Gunn.
Yeah, Gunn.
Peter Gunn.
David?
Peter? Not David Gunn. Who's David Gunn? I made him up. Yeah, and also, I went to Arcade Club Blackpool on the first night time, and
nice.
I met some guy. That's a crap story, isn't it? Yeah, I met some guy who was is like taking over from. Let me just look at my notes, kids. With the wrong mouse. Yeah, Arcade Parts UK. So where Arcade World's gone bump, I happened to bump into this guy at Arcade Club Blackpool. Well, I didn't know him, called Andrew McLeod, and he was saying he's trying to replace Arcade World, and he says he's got loads of stuff in stock, but he doesn't know 100% what we in the community want. So he said, email me. So I've put an email address in the arcade chat, and he'll try and get the stock in. So, he's got joysticks, Samoa stuff, buttons, T-molding, lots of stuff he's got. But
well, that's handy for the community, because we did wonder what had happened to Arcade World. It just sort of closed down without any notice at all.
Yeah, I don't know who ran that. I'm not sure at all, but
if he's taken over the business, that's really good news.
Yeah,
because I think that is the only place in the UK really to get your arcade bits and bobs.
Yeah, so I put another link in the show notes, and there's an email address there. If you just go onto his site, you can contact them.
Okay.
I'm nearly done. I reorganised my man cave, so I've got rid of them bloody floating shelves. Apart from one of them, the floating shelves I kept banging my head on.
No, I don't remember.
Well, look,
is that why your hair's worn away?
Yeah,
banging your head on the shelves.
Yeah, I thought it'd get more sense into me, but it hasn't worked. So I've got rid of one of them, and I've reinforced the other one, and I've got a proper good shelf up now, and I've got some more sort of space in the room. I've reorganised stuff, and what else? One more thing. Sorry, mate. Addenda.
Apologise, mate. I want to hear all about it. Let's hear all about it.
Addenda and errata. Oh yeah, Arcade Club Blackpool was playing Mandalorian Pin because there was hardly anybody there. I was playing it for about an hour. Really good Mandalorian pinball.
Was it?
Yeah. And addenda and errata. On podcast 204, I mentioned that I didn't listen to any pop music at all. That is incorrect. It's an incorrect answer. It's wrong. I loved Depeche Mode. I forgot about Depeche Mode. Their 12-inch remixes releases were often very good. Get the Balance Right 12-inch combination mix. It's famous now. It's like proto house music. It's like 1983, and it's like a proper house music bass line, and I think it was very influential. And it's that kind of thing that got me into Depeche Mode. So that's what I've been up to. Sorry, mate. Go on, you'll go.
Well, I just want to comment on what you've just said, because the Depeche Mode thing is, one of the bands that I've been into for a long time. Fantastic.
Is it?
One band I have never seen live. I would love to see live.
I have.
I think one of the members unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago.
Alan
Wilder,
the
music's kind of changed direction a little bit.
Andy Fletcher, sorry, Andy Fletcher. Yeah, sorry.
Who was it? Andy Fletcher.
Yeah.
But I mean, what a fantastic band. Really cool. Love them. I'll have to check that one out, because I love a remix. They did start releasing some of their albums and remix them again, but not always to my liking. You have to really search hard to find the track you want, but. What a fantastic band. I'm looking at my next show notes. What I've been up to is my van is dead to me, Sean.
It's dead to you.
Do you know that old van, that old banger I've been driving around for the last 5 years?
Yeah, it's done well, hasn't it, really?
It has done well. I mean, considering it's done 246,000 miles.
God.
And it's been, it's taken me up and down the country. It's supplied pretty much all of the cabs for the museum at the time, so I can remember one weekend I went to Southampton, pick up a cab, and in the same weekend I drove all the way up to Inverness.
God, top of Scotland.
Top, saw Vic, because he saw the gunfight that I'd picked up at Arcade Club, and then drove up to Inverness to get Inverness? I got arcade stuff on the brain. Why is that, Sean?
I had no idea. MVS. Drove up to MVS. It was a massive cartridge in the sea.
Yeah. So, I mean, it did put some miles in, but, I mean, it was just, the engine's good as gold. It just keeps going, but it's everything else around it that I just kept forking out for. And in the end, I got it through the MOT, and then I thought, great, this is buying me some time to look for another van. And then the steering rack went, so I lost steering, which was pretty dodgy.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, I just thought, you know what? let's just get a new one now. I say new one. I bought another second-hand one because there's no point for me getting a brand new van with the stuff that I put in and out of it every day going to work. So I just want a good second-hand van with 100k on it, and that was fine. So I've got another Ford Transit Custom, which is great for what I use. So I'm really chuffed with that.
So it's got 100,000 miles on it already?
Yeah, but I've seen Transits up to 300k easily. But as I said, it's everything around it that goes. Yeah. The engine goes on forever.
Oh, that's
especially
good.
With the early Mark 1 Ford Transits. The later ones, not so good, but that sort of 2015 to 2018, they're good motors.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's just everything else. It was just time to move it on. It was looking a bit tatty. So, yeah, I'm glad I got rid of that. I got 500 quid for it. Bloke came around, picked it up.
It's not bad, is it?
And drove it off. I said, you can't drive it. He said, no, I'll be fine.
You can't steer, so did he just go down the road and crash into a wall?
You can steer it, but it makes a sort of whirling noise. Yeah, no, he kept going around the block. I just kept seeing him out the window. It's that way. He's like, no, I can't steer it.
You're right, mate. You want to stop for a brew?
Yeah.
Must be a bit dizzy.
But anyway, so yeah, I mean, with that really put me out for 3 weeks because I was sort of faffing around trying to find a new van, and I didn't have any way to get to work. So my good friend Buller, Paul Elmore, who regularly puts scores in our podcast, he kindly loaned me his car, which was really good of him. So a big shout out to Paul for that. Thank you so much, mate. You saved me for a week there. So I was able to get to work, so that was good. But just, the last 3 weeks have been hell, mate. I've been working on this job in Oxfordshire, repointing the front of this house. And whoever repointed it before did it in a really strong cement-based sharp sand. It's like concrete. And the bricks are really soft. So as you're raking out the old mortar, all the bricks are blowing. And sort of, we agreed at the beginning that I'd replace 20-odd bricks that we could see. Well, it ended up like nearly 100 bricks on the front of his house. It was just so bad. So bad.
Is that weather or something, or just...
No, because what happens when you're ever repointing a house, and your house is built out of lime mortar, which is probably pre-1930s, what was happening over the last 30 years, people are repointing it with sand cement, which is too strong. If your bricks are really soft, what happens in the winters, it expands and it blows the brick because it's stronger. So you should point it with lime mortar because it allows the building to breathe, and also it doesn't expand and blow all the bricks. That's why when you see red bricks that are all blown, it's because whoever's repointed it has done it in too strong a gauge of mortar. So that's what's happened. I've had to rake all that out and redo it. But luckily, the client is absolutely lovely, totally understanding, and is giving me more money for the time because there's nothing I can do, and it's all unforeseen work that you can't see until you start raking it out.
God.
So that has been like the last 3 weeks, just hell. Because I hate to inform the client, whoever did this before wants shooting because it's that bad. It's so bad. And it ruins a house. That's why people render over the front of houses and paint them just to hide all the dodgy brickwork, and the repointing.
Perhaps you should have done that.
No, because it devalues the house.
Does it? Oh.
Yeah, oh God, as soon as you paint over brickwork, devalues it.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Because you've got to repaint it every few years. And it just doesn't look nice. You want to try and keep it as original as possible. Right. That's what people want. But you just got to keep on top of it. Don't let ivy grow up your house because it ruins brickwork. If you've got ivy, get it off. It's deadly for brickwork.
Poison ivy.
It is poison. It is to brickwork and men. Anyway, enough of building chat.
I wondered if you could get some kind of fruit preserve and mix it in with your cement. Like a nice apricot jam.
Well, you can put yoghurt on brickwork.
Can you?
Well, you can. So some people want the oldie look. They want the kind of moss to grow back really quickly. So if you put yoghurt on it, it kind of forms a fungi, and it grows back a lot quicker. Or you can mix up soot. So sometimes I've taken soot out of a chimney stack mixed it in with water, and then brushed it all over the brickwork so it makes it look older, more weathered and dirtier.
That's good, that.
Yeah, it does work.
We should start a new section on this.
Especially if you're...
Alex's building tips.
I might do a little bit on my YouTube channel, actually, because I said I was going to introduce some of my life day experiences, so I will probably post a little bit of that on my YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I see, with all of that, I've been struggling to find time for anything, but I have dedicated at least an hour of my day for playing my bass guitar, because the last couple of years I haven't had any time, and since I've now got time, I've really got really rusty at playing. So I've been playing every day for an hour, just trying to learn a song. And I'm trying to learn Muse's bass line for Hysteria, which is quite a hard bass line. But it is, if you hear it, it is amazing. It's got a lot of fuzz, a lot of feedback, but it is a cool bass line. And I've nailed it. I've just got to learn the chorus bit now, and I've nailed that song, which I'm really pleased with.
Oh,
and the Police's song, Driven to Tears, because I love Sting's bass lines. Such a clever bass player. They're more simpler to learn, but I would imagine if you were singing and playing the bass, that would be really difficult, and that's what he does. He sings and plays bass. There's not many people that do that, trying to keep the rhythm section and the singing going at the same time. That's why I admire him. I'm not into his solo career, but I love everything he did with the Police was absolutely amazing. So, yeah, that's really cool.
If you need any techno beats under it, mate, I'm your man.
No.
No, I think about it first. No.
Yeah, I'm into most music, really. I mean, I'm more rock orientated.
Yeah. We can change that, can't we?
But, you know, I love all the new wave stuff from the 80s. Was super cool.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good.
But, I did get a night last week. I thought, okay, Nush's watching something on telly. I'm going to spend the night down my arcade, switch on every single game and go through every single one. So I played Rescue for an hour, and I got over 100,000, which I was really chuffed with, because I was averaging 150,000 in that game at one point.
Right. Oh God, that's good.
It is good, but I've got to beat Cine Steve's score, because I think he got over 200,000 once.
Wow, is it still on there?
Sorry?
Has he got a high score save?
No, he got it on my old bootleg Rescue I gave him. He was playing that, which I think is slightly easier. I can't remember. But yeah, he's a really good player. Track and Field, I was playing. I'm really rusty at that again now. So, I was averaging again 100,000, and that's dropped down. Astra Blaster, which is now working, although it has got a very noisy fan in it. But that's easy to change out. But again, really rusty at that game. Do you remember when you had it as a high score competition, Sean? And I think Charlie Farr got 52,000.
I'll have to look back. Yeah,
he got 52,000 because I was following his score, and then I realised he's playing it on a candy cab with a joystick. That's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Than playing it with two buttons, which is what all the dedicated cabs have.
All right. Yeah, I suppose it is. It is. Some people like the buttons, though, don't they?
Yeah. But I've got the star point buttons, which are not nice. The old...
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. But it's original.
Mm.
And to change the buttons over, I'd have to drill a hole through the control panel, which I don't really want to do. It's fine as it is. I'll just play it as it is. But it's one of those games, you've got to remember all those secrets. So many secrets, isn't there, to that game?
Yeah, very... I think that was well ahead of its time, that game, with that kind of thing. And the speech as well.
Yeah.
The speech was really good, really clear.
Yeah. So since we did that last podcast, we had Whitney on, and do you remember him mentioning he was looking for an Astra Blaster?
Yeah.
Well, Adrian Purser kindly stepped forward and said, oh, well, I've got one. And he's got a little cabaret, exactly the same as mine. So hopefully, I don't know if they have done the deal, but hopefully Whitney might have a little cabaret Astra Blaster. It would be cool.
I've just FaceTimed Whitney by mistake instead of you.
Have you?
Yeah, he went, all right, mate. I said, oh, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, brilliant. He said,
Sorry,
good
go.
to hear from you, but I've got to go.
Got to do a podcast.
I rang the wrong number on Piazza. On
But get this,
FaceTime,
mate,
sorry.
I played Tempest for an hour and a half.
Good God.
I know. I was in the zone because what's really annoying me is my friend Mark, who repairs a lot of my stuff, has got the top 3 scores on my cabinet, and it annoys me. So, and I have got those scores before, the ones that he's got, but in the museum, and I was determined that night to beat his score, and I got to the yellow levels. So you've got the normal levels, then it goes red, and then it goes yellow. Have you ever got to there, Sean? Did you know about those?
No. What,
Really?
the web goes yellow?
Yeah, it goes yellow, and then after that, I think it disappears. So part of the screen disappears, and you've got to work around stuff you can't see.
Oh, it's like Gravitar does that later on.
Oh God, yeah, I didn't know that about Gravitar.
Charlie Farr can play it when there's no background. Yeah, he got to that level of it, Gravitar.
But yeah, honestly, I got 268,000 on Tempest, and I was 1,000 points below Mark's score, and I was gutted. I just could not get off that first yellow. It's just a circle. Because usually on the other levels you've got angles, and you can sort of angle your whatever it is. What is it? A ship? I don't know what you are in Tempest.
I think it's a letter U.
It's just a thing, isn't it?
It's a weird letter U. That's what they call it.
Just fall on top of you, or if you're on a spike, you can. If you just hold down the fire button, it will just rapidly fire, and there's no way they can get past you. But on that circular level, it's really difficult to do. So I was struggling. I just could not do it. In the end, I gave up. I was so annoyed with myself because I just couldn't get on the table, because it only saves the top 3 scores on that game. Yeah, every other score below that it just resets.
That's an Atari thing with games of that time, isn't there? Like Millipede, Asteroids. They all kind of do that.
What do you think about the Atari scoring on those, Sean? You know, like Black Widow, Tempest, Millipede. They all have, like, you know, once you get to a certain point, you can restart at that section, can't you? A lot of people complain about that or don't like that way of scoring. I don't mind it.
Yeah, Mark Armstrong and his mate Jerry, I've seen them play at Arcade Club and at a couple of the events, and they make a beeline for Millipede, and they just carry on until they're like starting almost at 300,000.
Yeah.
And you can do that, can't you? You can just
you can.
You reach a certain point, and then it unlocks another score that you can start from.
Yes, that's right. That's
So
the same.
They really enjoyed it, because you start at a hard level. You don't have to go through all the easy levels that are easy to you. Like, I think it's a good idea, really.
Yeah, I do. I really like it. So and then I played Juno first. Got a really good score, 420,000. I was in the zone on that game.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, really enjoyed playing that again. Centipede, got my top score on Centipede so far. You know, that's a game that me and Vic struggled with for so long. I think even Vic gave up and sold his cabinet because he could never get above 30,000. But I've managed to get up to 62,000 now, and I'm just kind of avoiding the spiders. You know, I'm not even trying to shoot them. I'm just getting out of the way. Just get out of the way, and just make sure you're not right in the corner. Because, you know, they can reappear on the side of the screen and just catch you by surprise, which is really annoying. I'm just concentrating on getting the centipedes as they come down. So I was chuffed for that, 62,000.
I think with Juno first, I'll have to check on Psychic. I think I've got 1.9 million, you know.
Have you?
On Juno first, yeah. When I was really, really into it, I think for your Arcade Archive, I got 800,000. But I was really, really into it at one point, and I played it a hell of a lot, and I think I got 1.9 million. I'll have to check. It might be 1.6. Yeah. I put it on Sidekick anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised that you got that. I'm not, you know, I know you're a good player, but I do know a few people and watched a few people like Greg Mott get to a point in the game where it doesn't get any harder.
No, it just loops. If you
It
can
just
get
loops.
if you can get to level 17 and clear that, or 16, it starts again, and it is
Does it?
Yeah, it's slow. It starts again
Oh,
slow.
right. Okay.
Yeah, maybe a
Okay.
bit quicker, but it is. Yeah, so you can, if you get over that hill, you can.
Yeah.
It's like starting the game again, and it's another like 700,000-800,000.
Okay, that's something for me to go for then. Level 17, you reckon?
16 or 17. I
Right,
think it's
okay.
17, which is where it restarts.
And you know those little homing missiles that come in. Do you go for them, or do you just try and avoid or go around them? Do you know those things that follow you?
Yeah, it's all about the push and pull of the stick. If you pull back, constantly pull back, they're going to get you. But if you like, from what I remember, if you sort of keep pushing and pulling the stick, then you can pull them so they're directly in front of you and then get them that way.
Take them out, yeah.
So, or if you like go bang on full throttle, they still get you. So it's about controlling your velocity, I think, on them.
Last thing, just wanted to mention my MVS cab, which I blew up. Well, at least I thought I did. Actually, I hadn't. So I took it all the way down to Mark. He plugged it in and he said, "What's wrong with it?" I said, "I've blown the monitor." He said, "What's wrong with it?" I said, "I've blown the monitor." He said, "It's working." What? Because what happened was, when I turned it on, it took out the whole arcade, so everything went off. So I've got like a surge protector in the arcade. Just shuts everything off. So if I get surge in electricity from anything, it just closes it all down. So that surge protector must have saved it. But I didn't think to turn it back on again. I just thought I'll get it checked, which is probably the best thing to do anyway. And he said, "Well, it's probably saved it." So anyway, he went over it. It's fine. I got it back. It lasted a week, and now the monitor's dead again. So maybe it could have damaged it slightly. I don't know, but I haven't had time to take it back because there's no net glow at all on that. So I'm a bit gutted because I've got loads of new MVS games. I can play them. I could put my 1 slot in my Jammer cab, but I just want to play them in my 4 slot, and just give them all a good go, because there's a lot of carts there that need cleaning as well. Because I don't think Ollie's cleaned any of them, but he's done a fantastic deal on a lot of really cool games. So expect loads of Neo Geo high score competitions going forward.
Funny you may say that. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, kids.
That's it, really, from me.
Vic's done another one of them tinkerings over on Substack. Substack is great. With Neil 20-5's old Commodore 16. I'll put a link in the no shows. Check that out. It's lots of writing. It's lots of writing.
No pictures.
Yeah, there is pictures. No. There's no colouring in. But,
no dot to dot.
No, nothing you can print off and colour in.
No, I like dot to dot.
I like dot to dot. It's great, wasn't it? Remember you did it for ages, and it was just some man stood at a bus stop. Oh god, that was rubbish. Anyway, I'll put a link in the no shows for that. Well done, Vic. That's what he's doing. He's loving his.
Well done, Vic.
His retirement. His retirement from podcasting. I think he's enjoying himself.
I just don't know how he's doing that in the Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I think he must have come out. I've not heard from him.
I reckon he's got some insider in there helping him. We'll have to check that. I don't want him getting out.
I think he's released the key. Would you unlock the key by making a tinkering in his cell?
Whereabouts is he? Is he in Banbury Castle or something like that? In the dungeon?
I think he's in. Have you not got a? Trying to make stuff up. Have you not got a cellar? Is he not in there?
Well,
we've got a base.
To go up there and pay him a visit because he's not getting out unless he comes back on the podcast.
Yeah, he can come on as a guest, can't he? He can do a bit of guesting.
He can.
Anyway, that's it. Right, we've got a bit of arcade news. It's news about arcades.
Arcade news.
Good God. So first one is that arcade world that I talked about. The arcade parts. Info at arcadeparts.co. Info at arcadepartsuk.com. Give Andrew McLeod a bell and his part and his Carl, or I've not got his surname on there. He has run something called Retro 32 since 2019, which was a different blend of products, guides, and news focused around the mighty Commodore Amiga. That'll please some people, so that's them. And one last arcade news. While I was in Blackpool, someone said, "Have you seen Jason Bradbury's Kickstarter? It's about an sort of a spoof AI thing."
Yeah.
And I have done. It's called Control AI Delete. The premise is that AI has gone rogue and is shutting down all internet and Wi-Fi on the planet, leading to global chaos. The only machines left untouched are the old computers, like the Spectrum and the C64. Some nerds and geeks have used them and an arcade machine to save the world. So that's the premise of it. While Jason was doing his talk at Play Expo, he said there's a bit of a bad vibe about this phrase, nerds. Yeah. He says what nerds are people that are passionate about a project. A nerd is someone who is passionate. So if you're an arcade nerd, you are passionate about arcades. That is a nerd.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with the word nerd at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me if someone calls me a nerd. I just thought, well, what are you? What do you like?
Yeah.
But football.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm never kind of offended by it if someone calls me a nerd.
Yeah, that's good. So I've put a note in, follow his Kickstarter. He's up to about 30k. He only needs 50k. He needs 50k to fund it because all the people are doing it non-gratis, pro forma, non-gratis. But non-gratis is free, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're all doing it. The director, the cameraman, the special effects, the actors.
And you can actually be in it. If you Kickstarter, you can actually be in it, can't you? The film.
Can you?
Yeah, well, I know that because our fellow podcasters, Retro Asylum, recently just interviewed him for one of their episodes.
Oh, great.
Have you not heard it?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, that's great. So he was talking about it in some depth that if you do Kickstarter, there could be a possible a way of getting people into the film. I mean, it might just be like a second because there might be quite a lot of people backing this project. So, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. It sounded great. Yeah, so check that out. It's a really good episode on the Retro Asylum podcast. Our good friends over there interviewed Jason Bradbury, which is really cool. I've met Jason actually a few times. He's a really nice guy, and he used to live in Twickenham. I don't know if he still does, but I used to see him on his bike all the time. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. The film is set in Skegness,
cool.
where he grew up. Yeah. Okay. Podcast pickup.
Podcast pickups.
I have actually got some pickups.
No.
This is amazing.
Let me sit down. I've got to sit down. I've got whiskey here somewhere. You've got pickups.
Yeah.
You haven't been going in the cat litter tray, have you, and picking stuff up in there?
Oh, right, yeah. Right, moving on then. No, I got a book from Mike James, right, of Retro Gaming Roundup. He did a book a few years ago called Smoke and Mirrors, The Rise and Fall of a Serial Antipreneur. And it's an official account of the man behind the events, Mike Kennedy, that led to the evolution of Game Gavel. He started that. Retro Magazine, the Retro VGS console, and the Coleco Chameleon. All of these things failed eventually. And it's his story. And it's not... I've only read about 50, 60 pages, like 400 pages. And it's not like he's a complete bad guy, but he did do, by the sound of it, questionable things that he could have put right. But I can't say much more because I've only read about 100 pages, about 400 pages. So that's what I've got. Some pickups. How about that, lads?
Sounds like an interesting read. I've got so many books I need to read. I haven't got round to yet. What have I been picking up? I've been picking up books, funny enough, but these are not reading books. It's from our good friend Greg Mott, who is well known in the community for being quite a good pinball player and a very good arcade player. He's very good at Robotron Defender. But he's made these fabulous books. There's 6 volumes. It's called The Video Game Flyers. And they go from 1979, I think, right up to 1990. And they're just flyers. But they're pretty much every arcade flyer. And I was flicking through it the other night because there's games in here I've never even heard of. And I come across this game called, what was it called? Streakers.
Streaking, yeah.
Streaking, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I sent you a link to it.
Yeah.
So basically, you're a streaker running around this maze, being chased by the old Bill. And you start off naked. I can't believe this, right? And
it's a woman as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Is it a woman?
Yeah.
I couldn't make the graphics are so poor. I couldn't make out whether it was.
You've got to pick up a bra and knicker, so I hope it's a woman.
That's right, isn't it? Yeah, because the advert, the flyer, is of a woman being chased by the old Bill with batons.
Yeah.
I mean, you just couldn't get away with that now, could you?
No.
So of its time, but it looks like a Pac-Man clone. So you just go around collecting all the dots. I don't know if your clothes are power-ups. But it looks like that's what you've got to do to get off the level, get all your clothes back.
Yeah.
But how strange. How strange. How did we miss that one, Sean? Do we need to do this for a high score competition?
No. Yeah, we can do that. We can sack off the other one. Yeah.
We did Uncle Pooh. That was quite funny.
Yeah, that was a great game.
It was a great game.
A really clever game. Yeah.
It looked like you in that game. It was you, wasn't it? You made an appearance.
Yeah. I used to pull my pants down and poo. Do super fast poos at enemies. Yeah,
that was a good game. But yeah, fantastic book. There's 6 volumes. I love it. Anything arcade related books wise, I've got to pick up. Unless they're kind of, I mean, there is a lot of books out there, isn't there? I don't need all of them, but because it was from my good friend Greg, who I've known for years. In fact, Greg was one of the first private arcades I was absolutely blown away with, because he had this Robotron UV reflective carpet, which just blew me and Vic away when we walked in there. This was like 10 years ago. And it was just the most amazing private arcade I'd ever seen. And he's such a lovely guy. I just thought, I've got to get these books. Really, really cool. He's done another book, actually, about his life. I need to read that, because we're actually mentioned in it. So that would be good. What else did I pick up? Oh, more MVS games. So just briefly, Oll's been doing me some fantastic deals on some MVS carts. Getting really into my Neo Geo when I get my cab back. Breakers, which I think got released on the Nintendo Switch recently, which is a fighter. Z-Blade, which is a horizontal shooter. This one might interest you, Sean. Looks really unusual. I've never seen a shooter like it. I can't wait to play it. I struggled to get the cart working. I had to really clean it up, but finally I got it working with the sound and everything, but then it kind of crashed at the end of the first level, so I probably need some more cleaning, but it looks a really good horizontal shooter.
Have they got swords?
No, it's not.
I'm thinking of something else. Oh, I'm thinking of a Sikia game. What's the Sikia game?
Game, yeah.
Sikia.
Aggressors of Dark Combat, which is another beat 'em up, I think. And vinyl. I'm really into my vinyl right now. I'm really enjoying putting vinyl on and just leaving the record on. Let it go through all the tracks, how the artist intended you to listen to the album. You know, I think the trouble with Spotify now and all these other streaming services is people don't really appreciate the artist like they used to. You know, because back in the day, we used to save up our money. Well, I did anyway. My record collection, CD collection, tape collection was as big as my game collection. It was huge. And I've been into music just as much, if not more, than I have been into games. So it's really cool picking up some new vinyl now. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but I've been going to record fairs and all that and looking for bargains and stuff. So I picked up soundtrack to Blade Runner, the original soundtrack, and the later film, the sequel, 2049.
See, I thought that sequel, I love the original Blade Runner. I even went to watch it in the cinema when they did the director's cut. And none of my mates wanted to go, so I went on my own. I actually
Oh,
loved.
did you?
Yeah, I loved that film. But when they took the commentary out, I actually thought I do like that. It wasn't meant to have the commentary, was it?
No.
I actually think that adds to the film, because when I watched it without the commentary, you thought, what's going on here?
Yeah, I must revisit that, the original release with the commentary, because I haven't seen that version for such a long time. But it is one of my favourite films. I think it is a timeless film. And I think the sequel was just as good as the original. I really do. I love the sequel.
Yeah, very clever. And
very clever. I think it's the atmosphere and the pace of the film that I like. You know, a lot of films now I don't know whether it's because they think people's attention spans are a lot shorter, but
sorry?
I think I don't know whether they think people's attention spans are shorter because
you're sorry.
I'm going to have another whiskey.
Sorry,
I'm drinking single malt Isla whiskey.
I've driven into whiskey, kids. My crap jokes. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, attention spans are just like the 10-second Instagram kids and the TikTok.
Yeah, they've just got to put as much action in, and you don't need all this fighting stuff all the time. You know, I mean, John Wick, the original one was okay, but the others is just like watching a computer game. They're just like superheroes. And it just doesn't feel real, if you know what I mean. That's not a good way of putting it, because none of these films are meant to be like realistic, but the fight scenes are just overproduced. You know, just ridiculous. Anyway, my last vinyl pickup was the classic album of a band that I absolutely loved back in the day. It's Motley Crue.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember this band? No?
Remember the name? I probably would.
It's one of their early ones, Too Fast for Love. It's a fantastic. If you like punk rock, it's a great album. Really, really cool.
No, I was always into the electronic stuff, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no. See, I got into heavy metal around about 87. I was into all the pop stuff, new wave, while I was at school. But another time I talk about, in 1987, there was a band that totally changed my life and the music that I listened to. But that's for another podcast. But anyway, that's my pickups.
I forgot a bit of arcade news. There's a cheap alternative to the Mr. FPGA. Have you seen this?
No.
A YouTuber called Takayudon that I quite like because he does really good reviews of handhelds and stuff like that. And he had quite an input into one of them, into the operating system. He has done something called a Mr. Pi, which is a £99 FPGA rival to the Mr. And it's running everything that the Mr. does, but it's 99 quid instead of like you have to get like a D10 Nano, don't you, and everything on the Mr. It's like 250 quid a Mr. by the time you've got something that's playable. And this is 99 quid for the base one, and it runs on something called an Altera Cyclone V FPGA, which is basically the same as a DE10 Nano reading this. So yeah, the base one is 99 quid, and you
Is there any reviews on it?
I don't think it's out yet. I think it's sort of still.
I'll be interested to see what the community thinks of it before I purchase.
Yeah, Mr. Pi reviews. Yeah, I don't think it's out yet. I think it's maybe coming soon. Yeah, the base Mr. Pi board is 99 quid. And there's a RAM bundle, which is 115 quid. And it goes at 260 quid for the full lot, which is 128 meg of RAM, a USB hub, Bluetooth, and all that kind of stuff. But yes, it looks very promising, and it is, because Mr., it is better than MAME. Obviously, it's like cycle perfect version of MAME. But if you're like me, you just want to play something that's near enough good for a high score, it's not something I'd be interested in until like you got something that you can't play in MAME.
Right.
But
so you wouldn't be interested in this for that price?
I don't know. The good thing is Charlie Farr plays it a lot on his stream, and the menu system's really good, and you can just hop out and in and out of lots of console games as well, and computer games. They're all sort of it's like a very basic menu. You can just load them up.
That's what you want.
Yeah, but the arcade games, it's weird. Like Vic noticed something where when they released the ROM for Kung Fu Master, the guy was walking behind the stairs when he went up a level. And it's just because they go down
what a creep.
Yeah, stupid Kung Fu Master, stupid guy. How does he get upstairs? He walks behind him, just bang his head, wouldn't he? But yeah, little things like that, and the sound missing on Scramble, and little tiny things, because they really go into detail on every ROM. So every so often you get like a few more ROMs. I don't know how many arcade ROMs there is. I'm going to guess 800. Someone will tell me more. Like Maine, there's almost endless, isn't there? And you can just which can be a.
Well, I'm still running the Pi in my Jammer cabs, and it's fine for a bit. But yeah, I mean, the Mister's too expensive for me. But yeah, something like that could be an option, definitely.
Right, yeah, sorry about that. I missed that bit. Right, we've got loads of feedback. I'll do one, you do the next one. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me, boy.
Listener feedback.
This is great. Thanks for all this feedback. This is great. Retro Russ, hey up! I've just seen your link to the perfect game of Yi Kung Fu. It's not actually a perfect run. Can you remember I put a link on this?
Yes.
If you notice the score each time an opponent is defeated, when the next opponent appears, the score is often different. This tells me that they have just stitched together different perfect runs to make the game look continuous. Also, we don't know the difficulty, I suppose. And that... So...
Yeah, I mean, that guy actually... I can't remember what that YouTube channel is called now, but I think he does that with a lot of games. Stitches it together. I've noticed that.
Well, that's okay, because he can play, but he's obviously got to stitch it together.
He just filmed it for such a long time and just stitched all his perfects together. Because the score changes, so it's a bit dodgy. I didn't notice that, but because I was too busy looking at the fighting techniques. But yeah, I think he does that a lot. But, it's okay. Feedback from Tony DJ Rouge. Such a treat to hear Whitney on the airwaves and our boys Alex and Sean bringing us some audio gold. Cheers, mate. Thanks, Tony. Really do appreciate that.
Got one here from Funk discussing Viking and Iron Maiden. He's found a laundry shop called Iron Maiden's.
A laundry shop? Is that where he is?
And then they're having a go at Vic.
He's in a straitjacket in a laundry shop.
They're having a go at Vic, and he's put, I fart in the face of fear. Vic has at the end of all this stuff on YouTube.
We got Craig Goodwin, who's a good friend of mine. Got a fantastic YouTube channel called Goodwin's Place. Hi both, just finished episode 204, loved it, great fun. On UK Pinball, there was a highway pinball that closed down a few years back. They made some decent games, including Aliens, which then went over to Pinball Brothers to continue the build. I have seen an Aliens, I think Rav's got an Aliens. And another company called Team Pinball that do occasional games with a few of the ex-Highwayman team, I believe. They made a game called Mafia, which is an old-style single-level pinball, no ramps, etc., but with a modern screen and rules. I need to pull my finger out and get on with my Gremlins homebrew pinball build. So he's making, Craig, his own pinball machine in the Gremlins theme. Yeah, it is absolutely amazing. You can find his build on his channel, which is Goodwin's Place. Can I ask the important question? Is a fig roll a cake or a biscuit? And does it count as part of your 5 a day? Well, the best person to ask is Mr. Holly.
Well, I've had a look at this because I'm a biscuit expert, having consumed over 200,000 of them in my lifetime. And the debate over whether a fig roll, I've nicked this off interwebs, the debate over whether a fig roll is a cake or a biscuit has been ongoing. But in the UK, a fig roll is generally considered to be a biscuit. This is because fig rolls have firm pastry-like texture rather than a sponge base, and they are typically found in the biscuit aisle of supermarkets. So maybe a difference between a biscuit and a cake is a spongy base.
Oh, you've ate that amount of biscuits?
Yes, I think it's getting on for half a million.
If you were a biscuit,
Yeah,
what would you be?
it's easy. That'll be a custard cream, wouldn't it? It's my favourite biscuit.
And would you like to be dumped in a pot of tea?
No, I don't like. I don't like it.
Imagine your little head getting dumped into a cup of tea.
It's me bold. It scalds me, burns. It burns. No, I think I've said it before. I think dunking a biscuit. I know it's a national pastime, but dunking a biscuit into tea ruins the tea, makes the biscuit go soggy, ruins the flavour of the biscuit. I tried it once, didn't like it.
Yeah, it's good to wash it down with tea, but not to dunk it in tea.
No, ruin it. One punch, Ron. You have to do that. That's his one punch. Oof, that's better than mine. Fantastic. Oof, ow. Fantastic podcast, guys. Great to hear from 8-Bit Whitney again. Thanks for giving me an extra black belt, Sean. I said he had 3. I've only got 2. One of them in Ip Man Wing Chun, the one that Bruce Lee did. Ooh. Listen to the show in the car and pulled into a petrol station. Look what I found. He's found some Cheez-Its in the UK. It's the snapped version.
Wow.
Which is a bit weird. It looks like a weird thing.
It looks rubbish. But I'm quite impressed. If he's done Wing Chun, that's quite impressive because there's not many people that teach Wing Chun as a style in the UK. So if he's done that, very impressive. It's something I've always wanted to do, Wing Chun. Roley's Arcade. Love a bit of Kung Fu. First played this on the Acon Electron.
Yeah, well done, mate. Mark Sharples, a.k.a. What No Gravy. Hang on, there's a kick button. Bugger.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
It does help. Dr. Google's In Your Face, Sean Ollie. It's not often I finish ahead of you. Great episode. Never heard of next show's game. Should be interesting.
That's goggles. Mark, insert many coins. Hey, Sean and Alex. On your last podcast, you talked about a version of track and field and hypersports rearranged or remixed, essentially making for the game with mixed events. Do you know if this is available as a ROM, as it sounds right up my street? And
No.
I think, have you put that? I think you might have told me. Not available. Here's a link to the High Score Save Kit. It's a PCB mod. It's an actual physical PCB mod. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, well, no, not to mind.
Yeah, it's cleverly done, that. Tronads, I really enjoyed this episode, and it was great to have my friend Whitney on as a guest. Hear, hear.
And also, Stuart Tracy has a Metal Slug 6 in his arcade. We were talking about the Metal Slugs, and I remembered that Metal Slug 6 was on different hardware, and he's got it in his arcade, and it's a Thomas Wave hardware.
Thomas Wave. There's some good games I haven't explored on that system.
Yeah.
There's some weird dolphin game, like a shooting game. Do you know that one, Sean? I can't remember what it's called now.
What was it called? Echo and the Machine Guns?
No. Good try. Good. Not a good guess though. You got it wrong. Now, Odd sent me if anyone knows what that game is, I'm trying to think of. I would love to play that or have a copy of that. It sounds amazing. So yeah, that's Stuart at the Time Warp Bridgewater Arcade. I've got to go down there again and see him. I love that place. Adam Godfrey. Hello, Sean. Writing to let you know you two are smashing it out the park with the V2 of the Tempe podcast. Great job. So happy you and Alex are keeping it alive. One of my favourite shows. Oh, cheers, Adam. I also wanted to ask if there were plans to post old shows. I see most of them are on the feed, but my feed stops at show 79. I am missing something. Am I missing something? Or are you planning to post the first 78 shows? Again, thank you for all you do. Love listening to the show and love going back to the old ones in between shows. Cheers, Adam. AK Exploding Pinball Man Boom Go Pinball.
Exploding Pinball Man. Yeah, I said, thanks for the comments, Adam. I'm planning to post the remaining 79, but the previous ones clogged up the podcast feed, effectively placing the new shows way down the list. This was despite me tagging the old ones Season 1 and the new ones Season 2. most podcast apps don't get it. I think Podbean does, and I think Amazon Music does, strangely enough. You can pick a season. Amazon Podcast. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way, this is me, to finish uploading the remaining 78 without pushing the new ones out of sight on the podcast feed. So if I uploaded 10 now, and then we released another podcast, there'd be 10 above it. And you wouldn't see our new podcast.
I see. Well, can't you do it before we release this one?
Yeah, I could do. Yeah,
that would make sense, wouldn't it?
It would make quite a bit of sense. Yeah.
Just go and bang your head on that shelf again, Sean.
But then we're going to lose the others. We're going to lose the others because they're going to get lost.
Just get them out. Get them out. Get them done. So before we release this one, stick them out.
Might do.
Anyway, it's up to you, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher this guy's surname, so I'm just going to go Clint Eastwood 71. Hi Sean, sorry I haven't uploaded scores for the last couple of months, but I have been busy with a virtual pinball machine build that I'm busy building. These guys out there are talented, Sean, aren't they? The things they do. Last month's game was useless anyway. This month was only slightly better. We might have to get Vic back in order to pick some games. What?
He picked some stinkers, didn't he?
God, didn't he just? Things are about to change. Oh, we can't please everyone.
Vic calls them janky. They were janky as heck.
Janky as hell. I mean, a lot of this podcast is about nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to pick games that we're nostalgic about. But it doesn't mean they're always going to be stand up to the test of time today. But it's nice to revisit them and play through them again. And play games we've never played before. Please find attached some pictures of my build. And if you're ever in Essex area, please feel free to come and have a go on it. I think you would like it. I have... What is that?
Small form factor, SFF. Small form factor, it's a mini PC.
Oh, okay. Speakers in it. So although it's virtual pinball, you can feel the ball on the table. You can feel the flippers when you press them and feel the bumpers when they're going off. It's amazing. I've seen these guys on YouTube playing these things. They do look really cool. Keep up the great work in the podcast, and hopefully next month it will be a game we can get into. All the best. Regards, Clint. Yeah, it sounds amazing, mate. Really, really cool. Hats off to anyone that's building a virtual pinball machine like that.
Yes, thanks for all the feedback, guys. I really appreciate it. There's loads there. Biscuit review. I don't know about you. Biscuit review. Okay, biscuit review. I don't know about you. Right, this is Lou Lee Petite Cookie with chunky, rich chocolate chips. It's the company's called Lou. You may have seen it in supermarkets. It's a big L, big U, surrounded by like a red background, and a lot of them are just basic biscuits. But like, I think Jimmy introduced me to them, and they were just like a butter biscuit with a bit of salt on it, and it was really nice. And these are similar. They were just a basic cookie with chocolate chips, but they're really tasty. I don't know what they do to them, but must put magic in them. You know what that is, like magic in a cookie.
Magic dust.
Yeah, magic dust.
Dust and tree sap.
Yeah,
magic tree sap.
How's your diet going? You still on that? Still on?
Yeah. There's not many woods around here now. and the arcade is clean.
Yeah,
there's not a spot of dust in here.
Dust and trees.
And I'm a lean, mean fighting machine.
Have you lost some weight? You look like you lost a bit of weight in your face.
No, I've just had a shave.
Oh, that could explain it, yeah.
No, it's not doing well. The trouble is, I was walking every day up on the Ridgeway, which I absolutely love. I love that walk. But with this job that I've been on and the shenanigans with the van, just the last couple of weeks, it's just gone out the window. But anyway, I will be back to it. Don't worry.
Okay, right. Featured game review.
Feature game review.
This is my pick, and I'm not going to say hidden gem, but I think this is hidden gem. It's Rompers, 1989 Namco, for 4-way stick and one button. That's all it is, and the button is called Push. It was released in February 1989 in Japan. What were we listening to in February 1989? I've got this down to the month this time.
Okay. I'm interested.
It was, because I kept a diary, you know. I kept a diary.
Did you?
Yeah, from 1987 to 1998. So
you still got it?
Yeah, I've still got it, yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. I'd love to have done a diary.
So I'm looking back through it. It's all about, like, girls that I didn't chat up because I was too drunk, and then more.
What? 1989. How old was you? Oh yeah, I guess
19,
so. How old are you?
Yeah.
How old are you now? You're 9.
50, next month, kids. When does this come out? Next month, I'll be 55 after this.
Oh wow, so you're a bit older than me then.
Yeah, well, I thought you were older than me. You look it.
I'm 53. No, I look. Well, it's all this diet of tree sap.
I'm only joking.
With
mate.
a dash of Marmite, it keeps you young.
Oh, Marmite. Yeah, so I know what I was listening to exactly. Depeche Mode, the singles, was released the end of 1988, I think, according to my diary, and I was still listening to it in 1989. I can't find an album called Depeche Mode, the singles, but it must have been out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would have heard of all those songs, but I don't remember that album release. I was listening to The Cult at that time, 1989, so I'd left school. 2 years I'd left school by then. And I was listening to Sonic Temple, and the single, which was released in February of 1989, was Firewoman, which was a great track. And Guns N' Roses also released Patience from their album Lies, which was actually a re-release from the limited run EP Live Like a Suicide, which was released the previous year. Now, that album was amazing, and I was going to talk about it earlier on, but that band changed my life because it was the first band that I saw live, and the strangest thing, it was their first gig in the UK. So I saw Guns N' Roses at the Marquee in 1987, and it literally changed my life, that gig, because I'd never seen a band with so much energy and so much audacity to tell the audience to get lost. And just their attitude, I've never seen a band have that attitude since, except maybe Nirvana and Oasis on their first album. But, you know, after that, there's not many debut bands that make such a impression on their first album. And Guns N' Roses did on that album, and it was absolutely incredible. Forget everything they did after, but that album, you cannot argue that album is an absolute classic. And that changed my life. So I remember that year very, very well.
Do you know, every time you get an album that just drags me out of the techno electronic, like drum and bass scene, and one of them was The Doors' Greatest Hits. Someone put it on somewhere, and it's just, I thought, that is amazing. So I listened to a lot of The Doors. I got all the albums in a box set, and I've listened to that as well. So that's another one that wasn't electronic.
Oh, dude, they made a bit of a comeback, didn't they? Because Oliver Stone released the original motion picture, The Doors, I think in 1990. So that was a year later, and they went big again. Everyone was buying the Doors records again. You know, I love the Doors. Absolutely love the Doors.
I forgot all about that. You know, I've still got the box set down here.
Have you?
Yeah, Morrison Hotel and all that lot. But people seem to think that the first album, in all the like top 10, the first album, The Doors, that was recording like in 10 days or something, was the best because it was so full of attitude and it was so like live and almost unrehearsed, like one take recordings and stuff. I don't think he ever got better than that, did old Jim Morrison?
I don't know. I think L.A. Woman, is it? Riders on the Storm album's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I love that song.
Good album.
Someone did a really good sort of 9-minute Riders on the Storm kind of
hip hop version.
No, like an ambient techno, you call it.
I know the one you mean. Yeah, I think I've got that.
Yeah, who did
got
it?
That on CD. It's not Sonic Corporation, was it?
Don't know.
Fairway Corporation. I can't remember. I know the song you're talking about, brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Love the doors.
Anyway, let's get on to the game review.
Yes.
Feature game review.
Featured game review. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Actually, I'll put the proper tune in there. I don't know what I'll put. It's better than that. In this game, you control a gardener called Chap. Hello, old chap. Chap must navigate through 61 maze-inspired gardens to rescue his girlfriend, Rumina, who has been stolen by a few bat-faced things, or by a scientist who makes bat-faced things, not sure. I'll find out what they are later on, actually. Anyway, Chap must collect all of the keys in the level to progress to the next level. With your one button, you can push over walls in the garden and crush enemies to create a path to reach the keys. But the walls quickly resurrect, as do the enemies. Once killed, the evil cretins are cretins. Yeah, you can... It's very clever. It's an original premise for a maze game, I think. On the surface, it seems to be a simple game of running around and getting all the keys to open a door and unlock the door to the next level. But you can knock down the walls and crush the enemies, revealing bonus items. And you can also knock down the walls to create a path to where the keys are hard to get to. That's a skill later on in the game. You look at the level and you can't get into where these keys are. I think level 13 was the one I struggled on. And you've got to get the guys inside the enclosed bit to try and push the wall down for you. So you get out of the way, they push the wall down, you get in and get the keys. Very clever. So there's quite a few levels like that afterwards. Each round has a preset time limit to ensure that the player does not dawdle. Once it runs out, a green-haired vampire known as Tuskema, she hones in on you, and obviously they'll just get you in like half a minute. You can't outrun them. Power-ups! They're found in knocked down walls, and as are all bonuses. Knock down a wall. Earthquake. It wobbles the screen. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, got that one.
That's good. Everything wobbles. I thought it was my screen packing up again, but it's not.
Well, I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know whether I could actually go over the enemies and kill them, but you can't. It just stuns them, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you can run through them.
Yeah, you can run through them, but I thought it would squash them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you get a good 10 seconds, I think, to get the keys. U-turn. Enemies turn away from Chap instead of hitting them. And also you get speed up. With this speed up, you can outrun the armadillos. What I've missed the bad guys, haven't I?
You have, yeah.
I'll talk about the bad guys. Bad guys are bad. They're super bad. They've all got Japanese names, so I've had to make them up, so I couldn't pronounce them. You've got baby dinosaurs, fire breath. They spit fire breath across the whole screen. Spiders, sticky webs. You get stuck in the webs and then you go really slow. Cheese slices, you wouldn't like these. They look like cheese slices to me.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't like that level.
They can knock down the walls, actually. Whipped cream.
I would do like a bit of whipped cream, especially on my cakes. You like a bit of whipped cream. Do like cream, don't
very
we?
Nice, very nice.
Oh, ding dong.
They do nothing but get in the way. Armadillos, they run fast and knock down walls. The cheese slices can knock down walls. Crap seals, I call them crap seals. I don't know exactly what they are. They can... What do they do?
Freeze puff.
Oh, yeah, they blow cold air at you and you go really slow.
Right.
Really, that's effectively killing you because you can't get out of the way of stuff. Squat purple guys wearing World War II helmets. I don't know what they're actually called. You have to squash them twice to kill them. You squash them once and the helmet comes off and it's like a little man with like a few strands of hair on his head. I know how you feel, mate. Cuddly wolves. They can throw bombs at you. I didn't see these. I didn't get that far. But it's cuddly wolves.
Why are they cuddly?
They just look
bombs at you. They look like something you could cuddle.
Yeah.
But it's a wolf in disguise.
Yes, it's a cartoony wolf. Yeah. Right. And the horned bat creature is the end of level baddie. He clones himself. That's what he does. On level 61, and you've got to squash all the clones. He's a right.
Well, what level's he on?
Very last level. But
61. You get an end of level boss.
Yeah. It's quite hard to do.
You didn't get there.
No, I watched a YouTube, but he's the guy that appears when you die at the end, and you sort of.
Okay, yeah.
He laughs at you, and do you want to continue? It's that guy. So yeah, I got all the power ups. The bonus items. These are revealed by pushing over walls and squashing enemies when pushing over walls. For example, revealing a green jewel gets you 1,000 points, right up to a crown, which gets you 10,000 points. I didn't see any crowns. And another example is squashing 7 enemies under one large wall, which is very hard to do. That will get you 10,000 points. If you squash one enemy, you get 1,000. It's like it ramps up like that. Extra lives can be earned by crushing stuff. There are extra lives. You get an extra life at 50k, and I don't know if you get one at every 50k made it.
Never got there.
There's a cut scene called the Rompers show that appears after every 10th round. I only saw one of them. And once Chap has rescued Rumina at the end of the game, they both go back to free the vampire girl, to Skimia, who ironically is trapped under a wall. Given that she cannot be crushed in the game, that's why it's ironically, apparently. Chap then starts to carry her away instead of his girlfriend Rumina. That's Japanese humour for you. He carries her away on his back, which angers Rumina as he went through the whole game to save her. He's gone off with a vampire girl. Have you ever gone off with a vampire girl? Right?
Many. It didn't come off well, mate. Don't go there.
They're bloodsuckers.
Just get her to lift her top lip up. If you see those fang teeth, run a mile.
Oh God!
Don't go near them.
Was there loads of vampires down south? Was there?
Yeah, they're after your blood and your money.
Right, tips. Finish a level as quickly as possible for a time-based bonus. That's it. If you can finish all the levels, that's what the good guys are doing, patterning the levels, getting 10,000 every level. I think it goes up to like 20,000. Like all games, it does help to learn the levels so you can pattern them. I was just going free form because I loved the idea of squashing stuff, and I wasn't getting a very high score. I was just running around squashing stuff. It's just great, but it doesn't lead to a high score really. As the game progresses, you do need to plan. You know what you do. You plan. You fail a plan. You plan. You've
got to think quick. It's a little bit like, when the waves appear at Robotron, you've got like a split second to think, where am I going? What's my path? And make that decision and just be, convicting yourself to that path and stick with it.
Yeah, you fail to plan. You're up the you fail to plan. You plan to fail. Something like that. That's good, isn't it? Yeah, the collision detection is very unforgiving. I think just the tip of your hat touched against an enemy will kill you. Obviously, keep an eye on how many keys you've got to collect. There's a little counter down the bottom left screen. All enemies seem to follow your path, so you can lead them around and group them. They follow your path exactly. So if you run up and down, a wide sort of bit of path, they don't go in. They follow the route you've gone. A lot of them do.
Well, that is a helpful tip, actually. If you know that.
Yeah,
that's going to help a lot. I didn't actually follow that.
So what do you think of the graphics and sound?
I loved the little tune. I really did. I thought it was great. I didn't get annoyed by it or anything like that. I thought it fitted the game perfectly. Graphics, it does its job for what it is. Little puzzle game. Nothing outstanding, but it was cool. I liked it. It was really cool, mate.
Yeah, I do. I like chirpy tunes and cartoony graphics. The graphics do vary a bit, especially the border around the game. That seems to vary, to ice and fire and cheesecakes and sap. It's a maze game. I really like it, with a clever twist, which is knocking down the walls. Whoever mentioned Rompers, I know it was a listener. Please give us a shout, and we'll give a shout out to you. I can't find who did it, who mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it.
Yeah.
It makes me think back to another original maze game called Spatter. I loved Spatter. It was made by the people that did Flicky, and it shows.
Yeah.
It's a superb maze game where you can jump against the wall as something coming, and you make a bulge in the wall, and they go under you, so you can go past them.
Yeah. We didn't mention what hardware this is on, did we? Do you know what hardware it's on, Sean?
Oh, I think it's on an expanded 48K Spectrum.
And I don't think it got a console port, did it?
No, it was released entirely in Japan. Right, hang on, I'm going to freeze the thing.
Yeah.
Rompers is based on Namco System 1 hardware.
Right. And what other games was on that hardware? I can't remember. I'm not familiar with that hardware.
Right, you've got Blast Off, which is Bosconian 2, Dangerous Seed, which is a decent shooter, Dragon Spirit, which is another decent shooter, March and Maze, which we've done before, which is an isometric thing, Pac-Mania, that's on System 1, yeah. Questa, I don't know what Questa is. Yeah, Rompers, Tank Force, which is a follow-up to Tank Battalion, I think, that old one. World Court, which is tennis, World Stadium 89, 3 football games, and then a couple of Japanese ones. So quite a few on System 1.
Not many I know, to be fair. No wonder I'm not familiar with it. There's not many games. I didn't even know there was a Bosconian 2, to be honest with you. Have you played that?
Yeah, it's a vertical shooter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
it's just the ship from the game, the original.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay. Oh, and the CPU is an M6809, so they were pretty decent, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's it, kid. Right, yeah. I've put a link in to a Rompers speed run, which is very good. The guys learnt it inside out, and the strategy wiki of Rompers, which tells you more information about the gameplay and also all the bonuses in the game. Yeah, so I do like it. I think this is a bit of a hidden gem, really. It's staying in my favourites. Very few games stay in my favourites. So I've played it. I've learned a few of the patterns, but not many. And I like the idea of just sort of freewheeling around the maze, squashing stuff. So I haven't got a really big score, but I've really enjoyed playing it.
I enjoyed it. The trouble is, for me, for this game, obviously I didn't have a lot of time this month. But 2, I haven't got a 4-way setup, which is really annoying. So I was playing it with an 8-way. So I played it on the Switch, and then I played it on the Pi. But most of the time I was playing it on the Switch because it's got the arcade ROM on there. And it was, it done me. I was so tired in the evening. That's all I could really bring myself to play it on. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great little game. Definitely.
Yeah. So let's do some scores, shall we?
Yes.
High score countdown.
Right. Stacey King at the bottom is still playing. 27,700. Not had much time to play. I love the single screen games, but this one failed to grab me. The lag between pushing a wall and falling didn't help. Yeah, you've got to kind of... Yeah, I know what you mean, because you can get squashed by the other side by like an armadillo or something knocking the wall on you. But the 4-way control on the joypad was also a barrier because it wasn't on a joypad. Oh, yeah. Because it wasn't precise enough. Yes, I know what you mean.
Well, I ended up playing it on the D-pad. I found that easier than playing it on an analog stick. Andrew Hanane, is that right?
Hanane, yeah.
Hanane, 1 point with 28,000.
Eastwood 71, who we've got feedback about his pinball earlier on, 29,400.
Zest Storer, is that right?
Yeah.
Zest Storer, 1 point with 38,500.
Paul Cradster, 42,200. One of the oddest games I have ever played, and a definite never again. He wasn't into it.
Me, with right down the bottom, 78,900. It's an addictive and frustrating at the same time.
Dr. Goggles, he's got some goggles and he's a doctor. I wonder how he does operations. I think he's got them big glasses.
Yeah.
Do they fall off and like land in someone's chest cavity, do you think?
Probably got a monocle.
Yeah, that'd work, wouldn't it? But if you're squinting and you're like sewing someone up, what if that fell?
No, that's not good. You don't want to be in that scenario.
No, we'll have to get on to him. What's he doing? Anyway, 79,350. Been a busy month. Just managed to grab a few goes at Rompers. Seems like a decent game. Bit too cute for me, but simply doesn't. I had enough time to play.
Me too. Old Man Steve, 81,820.
Victor Marland, he must have got out of that Iron Maiden, He's put a score in, not unless we put a PC in there, have we?
He's got a Switch. He's got a Switch in the Maiden. You can play that in there.
84,110. Seems okay, but it gets a bit tedious after a few plays. Ooh.
I thought he'd like that one, actually. Mr. Messi, 85,950. Rompers, walk around, push walls over, squash armadillos, wear a hat, all accompanied by a classic Namco font.
I love that font. It's great. And when you see that font, you think, yeah, good game.
Yeah,
One Punch cool. Ron, 106,010 points.
Basil the Sane, 1 point, 112,200. Great pick this. Great cutesy graphics, good sounds and gameplay that keeps drawing you back. Level 10, just a bit too tricky for me. Damn those webs. Best pick since Mouser. Good one, guys.
Yeah, that's nice of him. Sean, that's me, isn't it? Yeah, it is. 116,700. That's me just messing around and not playing for points.
Okay, so what level did you get to then? Because I think I managed to get to about 8. That was it.
I think I did get to 10, I think. Maybe 10.
Right.
But low scores. Yeah. It's all about getting the
bonuses.
Yeah, the bonuses. If you can do a maze in like 5 seconds, you get 10,000.
Right.
I think that ramps up to 20,000. Someone will let us know, won't they?
Lewis Wellham, 126,100.
Well done, Louis. James Wise Mids, 127,510. Round 11. Enjoying this one. Nice pick. He also sent us a picture of his arcade setup. A nice little arcade setup, like a Vectrex and a gun game and an arcade cab and an LCD. Yeah, a really nice little setup.
That's cool.
So I'll put that on the website. If you go 10 pence arcade.com/p/images, or you can just click on images when you get to the site.
If anyone wants to send me pictures of their arcade, I'm more than happy to showcase them on my channel. I'd love to see your game rooms, 100%. Bill Wellham, 131,320. Rompers is a very addictive, crazy maze fun. I wish I'd started playing this early in the month. Definitely one to play more and more. Good choice, chaps.
Neil 25, 140,700. No time again, but a few goes nets me this score. My kind of game, just need a time machine these days. Loving the podcast version too. Promise to find some time, more time for you guys. Really appreciate all the effort that goes into it all. Thanks, Neil.
Thanks, Neil. Mr. Berserker, 164,100. Finally making some headway. Great game.
J. Ping Barber. We're getting into the points. 188,100. Loving this game after a couple of goes. We'll return for a longer session when I have some time. The magic of 10 pence arcade is you can discover some hidden gems. I think this is. I think so too. Sal Bug into the points now. 2 points with 191,500. This was a fun little game, and again, something I would never have tried if it wasn't for this amazing podcast. The music was a bit annoying, but the gameplay was unique, and I loved the graphics and animations. My score was hovering around 100k till I finally got past level 10, and then I found the points were much easier to pile up. Curious to see how my score will fare compared to others. Well, pretty good compared to mine, mate. Yeah, he's done well. Red 7 Eve, and that's one of your mates, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's a great YouTuber. Red 7 YouTube channel. He does all arcade pickups and stuff. Really cool. 3 points,
193,470.
Yeah, he really liked that game. Adam Flint, 4 points with 215,100. Hi, Sean and Alex. Whoever suggested Rompers for this month's high score challenge deserves a medal. This is the ultimate hidden gem, a fantastic blend of puzzle and frantic arcade action. I just wish I had more time this month to solve levels beyond the first 17, but with 61 levels in total, this game I'm going to keep playing and try one more credit to complete. I'll let you know how I get on. Good luck, Adam.
1 credit clear he's going for. Ross. Hi, Ross. 5 points with 226,300. This is, keep hearing these words, hidden gem. I love it, yeah. This is a true hidden gem for me. Seriously addictive gameplay. Going to get stuck in on this one.
Yeah. He is Jimmy, 6 points with 233,050. Rompers is a little gem of a game. Really enjoy playing it. Very satisfying to find a hidden 3,000 point gem or work out a super quick way of completing a screen. What's that?
Arigato.
Arigato.
Mark what? No gravy. 7 points. 236,690. Well, that looks like it for me. Level 15 is beating me this time. And in the time we have left. Never heard of Rompers before, but what a great pick. Lots of fun and plenty of secrets. There is loads of secrets. It's all done by knocking down walls, which I love doing. So I got a few gems in that.
And I do like a game of secrets. I think that's why I keep returning to Astro Blast. It's just finding out all these little quirky things about a game. It keeps you coming back, and he's right. It's all about the secrets. Rygar, 8 points. 324,100. Thanks for another spiffing podcast, chaps. And for Rompers, I've never heard of this one. It took a couple of goes to get into it, but by level 8, it starts to get interesting. Another personal best of 324,110, level 17. Here's some level 15 tips.
I think people were getting stuck on this one.
Yeah, you're safe in the middle for a bit. When the coast is clear, carefully nibble away at the keys, keeping an eye on the roly-poly baddies until the domino blocks appear. Use them to your advantage. Well, that's a good tip, but I never got anywhere near level 17. I'm going to try. I'm definitely going to go back to this one.
Yeah, I know what it means. I've tried to play through it on credit through it, and I did get to that level. Yeah, this new player last couple of months has been really good. Beanie, 9 points, 347,970. This score is as good as it gets for me. Fun little puzzler.
And at number 1, this week's top of the charts is Aid Skyway 73 with 10 points. And a score of 455,900. Wow. Nice to try another new game. Enjoyed the risk-reward of trying to round up the baddies and flatten them all at once. Thanks at Rygar for the tips for round 15. Got the hang of it in the end. Well, Rygar, you might have given too much away there, pal, because he beat you. But that's great that everyone's helping each other out. I really like that. But
it's a friendly competition on Twitter mostly.
Like everyone's sharing tips and gameplay stuff.
So I'll put these high scores league standings on the website. So at the top, we've got Rygar. I think we've got 2 games to play. We've got November and December. But I might do another one in December because people will be off work. So there might be 3 more to go. I might put a last year end one in. Rygar's got 77 points. He looks like he's going to win again.
Wow.
Just for the record, right? I started the league in 2016, and then Vic agreed with it. So it's a good idea because Charlie Farr won it in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020, 5 years running, and then he went off to do his Twitch channel.
Yeah.
So he's hardly played this at all now. So Rygar has won it 2021, 2022, and 2023. It'd be good to see them to do a head-to-head, see who would win. But so Rygar's at the top with 77 points. Then Aid Skyway was 63, the only one that can possibly catch him. Mr. Berserker was 60, and then it's right going down. Salbug 37, he is Jimmy 28, Ross 28. Where am I? Well, I've got 21 points. And then that's just the top 20, but it's going to be tight at the top of over those last 3 months. I think I might do a Christmas one as well. So this one now is going to be in November. What are we in October? Yeah, it's going to be a November one, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So this is the bit. Oh, this is good. How many 10p's would you give this game, sir?
Well, if I was wandering around my arcade back in the day, I had a pound's worth of 10p's, I saw this game and I played this game, I think I'd put 60 pence, 6 10p's of my hard-earned paper round money into this game. I think it's a good game. but I'd want to save a little bit for something else. But thoroughly enjoyed it, and if it was in the arcade the next week, I'd put the same amount of money in again.
Yeah, I'd give it a solid 7. I think Sidekick it gets an average review of about 7.5 or something, which is good. Right, next show's game. Right, well, we talked about streaking. I think we should do this as a next show's game. Do you?
What, streak around as a naked woman?
Yeah.
In a Pac-Man style?
Yeah.
With no clothes on, being chased by police officers, with only 3 lives. And an extra an extra bra at 20k, and an extra knickers at 40k. Can we really do this? Or will we get a content strike on YouTube?
Yeah, could do, couldn't we? Right, next show's real game. This is your pick, Alex. I think this is going to be really good.
Next show's game.
I'm looking forward to this one because I have an original cart. And guys, I haven't really played much of this game, so I haven't got a head start at all because I haven't had a bloody machine to play it on. But I will have. It is Demon Front. It's an IGS game from 2002. And it's ROM. What is that, Sean?
That's the ROM name. DMNFRNT. Delta Mike November Foxtrot Romeo November Tango. Demon Front.
Oh, okay.
When you start the game up, look for the version V105 or M105. That's the ROM that you should be playing. It is a default ROM. So if you've got all the bootlegs and all the other things turned off on your MAME system, this is the default ROM that comes up. I've looked at it on Raspberry Pi. It's the same settings. It's Lives 3, which is default, difficulty normal, which is default.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Demon Front was made before the Metal Slugs. I thought, because I've never really seen it, I thought, they made Demon Front and then they went on to do Metal Slug. But I think it's some of the same guys in it because it looks similar.
And a lot of people think this company's like a bootleg company. They're not. They're like official releases onto carts that look like MVS carts. Yeah, you got to run them on a different motherboard. You can't use a one slot or something like that. You got to run them on another motherboard. But some of the games that are released are pretty impressive.
I think this came out. I've had a look at it at the same time as Metal Slug 4.
Yeah.
So I always thought this was the first one, but no, it looks polished. I've had 10 minutes on it. It plays really well. I think this is going to be a good night.
Yeah.
Deadline for score submissions is Saturday the 9th of November at 5 p.m. UK time. How to submit a score on Twitter, X, hashtag 10pscore, 10pscore, Sidekick app in the 10 Pence club section, email biscuits, it's my favourite email ever, that, biscuits@10pencearcade.com, facebook.com/10pence as a comment in the podcast post, or UK VAC on the podcast feed if you're a member of that community. No submissions from consoles or computer compilations, as they may be different. The only exception to this is the Evercade, which uses arcade ROMs. And then I've got a link to my personal links there, which is like Sean's Arcade and my personal Facebook, and that's how I put that in. That's a link tree. So what have you got anything to say, Alex, about the Rompers and the new game that's coming up?
Yeah, I would definitely be going back to Rompers once I get a 4-way stick set up. I've got my little Alka cab, which I might do that with. But I'm really looking forward to playing Demon Front on a sort of competitive level. It's one of those games. I do love the run and gun genre. It's one of my favourite genres. I love Contra. Metroid's a kind of run and gun game. I love all those type of games. So this is right up my street. And what I've seen and played of it so far, it's highly polished. It's definitely up there with the Metal Slugs, if not better than some of them. Yeah. So I think a lot of people, if they like a run and gun game, you're definitely going to like this. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, like I just had 10 minutes on it just to see what's going on, and there's a lot going on, and there's
a lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah, very good graphics,
and there's different paths to take as well.
Is there? Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good.
You don't have to do the same path. You can take a different path, but that's all up for us to explore and discover in this month's game, which is what I love about this podcast, getting everyone to to get involved.
Sometimes you have to take a different path in life, don't you?
Yeah, and never look back.
Never look back.
No regrets. Because,
always look forward.
But not too far forward that you walk off a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Anything
else planned for this month, Sean?
For this month, I've got a few things coming up. I'll save them for next show, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget it's Halloween, folks.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a good Halloween game, isn't it, really? Never thought about that. Demon Front.
It is really, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you had that in the back of your mind, didn't you?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I've just recently got the cart, So I just thought, yeah, I'd love to play this on a competitive level. So let's do it. Let's do it, guys.
Well, thank you very much, kids, for listening. Well,
Yeah.
It's lovely podcasting with you, mate.
Yeah, and you, Sean. Always my pleasure to have a chat with you and talk about arcade nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
We're
not nerds,
stuff.
we're passionate people.
Passionate people, yeah.
Interested in a hobby. That hobby is arcade machines.
People of the arcade world. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it. And, you'll hear from us on the next one. Or see me on YouTube. You can catch me on YouTube. My YouTube channel is a link below. Al's Arcade. I've just recently uploaded Gav's Game Room Tour, which was awesome. He's got an amazing collection. So if you haven't seen that, go and watch it.
That is good, yeah. He's got a lot of vectors, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
All right, mate.
Yeah, cheers and Sean. Take it easy.
Cheers. Bye.